Welcome to the executive summary of assignment 3 of Financial and Economic Management of Health and Aged Care course. The budget report consists of 6 parts where several pros and cons of the bottom line of the budget with different benchmarking of the health service delivery of coming fiscal year of ABC General Hospital has been recognized. This is the Mrs. Smith's budget. She developed a new expected average length of stay and the new number of patient for the each DRG. And we can see here that the chest pain is the only DRG showed the maximum deficit here after revision by Mrs. Smith. And we have come to know that the surplus deficit has become 8.9 million Australian dollar. Here she changed the total number of patients in different DRGs and average length of stay according to her assumption. When she was instructed by the clinical director to increase the patient activity by 4%, she created a new budget, and on the basis of the last 3 years actual number of patients output of the hospital, and we can come to know that the revenue variable cost is increased, and the bottom line was decreased from 8.9 million Australian dollar to only 62.6k Australian dollar. Bottom line according to previous activity and budget was 8.9 million dollar. So after that, the finance director has been instructed by the Central Health Department that to reduce the NEP 5% or 10% for the budget cut backs. And in this sort of budget preparation, we can come to know that if the 5% reduction of NEP is done, the surplus deficit is $20 million, and the surplus deficit in case of 10% of NEP reduction is $6.8 million dollar. So in case of 10% reduction of NEP, the bottom line increased to 6.8 million Australian dollars. So to minimize the sort of fluctuation in the bottom line, Mrs. Smith can give some advice to the clinical director like benchmarking of the cost of the different service deliveries of the hospital to be more cautious in reducing the average length of stay, as hurried discharge may encourage the early readmission for the complications. Besides, continuous training and development may be arranged. In such a condition, Mrs. Smith tried to reduce the daily cost of a stay and tested it by creating a series of budget from 1% to 10% reduction of cost of a stay in case of both 4% activities only, and along with that 5% reduction of NEP with 4% activity of patients. The bottom line of 4% activity level in case of 1% to 7% reduction of cost of stay are higher than that of 4% 4% activity level as well as 5% reduction of NEP. Interestingly, the bottom line of the latter condition showed significant increase than those of 4% activity level only. The change process that will be led by the director might be enable him to engage a reform very stuff. To acknowledge this problem, I tried to rationalize the number of different service deliveries and prepared a budget. And there we can find that in different DRGs there are significant deficit, whereas after benchmarking the scenario became reverse except the F74 jet, where the deficit was reduced significantly but the DRG did not achieve significant surplus. Conversely, rest of the DRG showed significant reduction in surplus, though none of them showed deficient. None of them showed deficient, and after that, as budget preparation is a second order change, the director of finance should be more careful regarding involvement of operational team in budget preparation as well as addressing the clinical procedural knowledge shortage of finance team. He can arrange some training and development throughout the year for the clinical staff so that they are oriented to the budget preparation, and for the finance staff so that they can come to know that the clinical procedural cost and the real scenario of the patient output of the hospital. To ensure this, he can change the status of organization to the learning organization, can arrange monthly review meeting. Above all, he can consolidate improvements and produce still more changes using increased credibility to change systems, structures, and policies. Thank you. I wish every success of ABC General Hospital.